You've been kind of like exploring new mediums in a way in the quarantine. You started doing Twitch streaming more. Did you just start Twitch streaming during the pandemic? Is this the?
Yeah, I think it was last March, so I just did a year of it for the first time now.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you, sir.
Consistently as well?
Cool. Yeah, pretty consistently. You know, like I'd fluctuate from doing every single day for maybe a week and a half, and then maybe take a week off. But for the most part, yeah, I'm kicking myself for not having fucking started it sooner though. God damn, like it's so fun and it's just like turbo mode networking with some people too. Like you meet people where it's like I've known that dude for years,
right?
And I just want to say hi. And now I can just pop in because they're playing Jackbox and just go, hey, what's going on? And then we can start a dialogue. So it's like, it's so cool. I've not seen that on YouTube or anywhere else before. So
that seems to be kind of like the way that a lot of networking happens within the gaming world too, of like the YouTube gaming world in general. Because I mean, you're generally a more like in-person sort of content creator with your like sketches and stuff. But so I can definitely see how like that's a whole new world for you of you know going online, and then it's like all these people who just kind of like exist online. So it's like as long as you have like, oh, she knows him and he knows him, you know, you can make that connection pretty easily.
Dude, yeah, it's so strange transitioning to online stuff. Like I love it, and it's really nice for it's just convenient during a pandemic and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, usually the way it goes, it's like, you know, you got a dude that you want to have in a sketch, and you say, come on over. And you shoot outside for like 45 minutes, and then it's like, you want to go get some ramen or something? Maybe get some Bud Light and just play some Smash or something, you know? That's how I love doing it, but looking forward to reconnecting with that kind of shit.
Yeah, indeed.
What's a fun one, like a fun little networking thing that's happened online or because of Twitch in this past sort of year?
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, T-Pain was like, dude.
There you go.
T-Pain, like, and it was one of those ones where I was so pleasantly surprised because... Not that it's a bad thing at all, but sometimes you'll have somebody, reach out and be like, hey, what's going on, man? Love your shit. Like, let's do something. And then they kind of bounce.
And then it never happens.
Like, it was which is fine. And I'm not like, I don't take it personally because, you know, I respect where it's just like sometimes you want to like link up with somebody doing something cool and you can't entertain like a long-term like friendship or like a series of public connections and shit. Like, for example, I do some shit with Comedy Central on the side, and like 2 years ago, I had an in-public person, like, bit idea at South by Southwest,
Gotcha.
And I talked to Comedy Central. I was like, could you get me, like, a celebrity for, like, a joke thing? And they're like, we got Creed and Todd Packer and Oscar from The Office. Who do you want? And I was like, oh, like, I'd love to shoot with Oscar. And, like, he showed up to the shoot and stuff, and was, like, super fucking chill, and went out of his way to, like, look up ahead of time and be like... hey, I saw your cat video. Really funny stuff. You know, like the kind of like, I can tell you jump through the hoops
the nice
of cordiality.
Networking stuff, yeah.
Exactly. So it's like something like that, but then it's like, I obviously understand I'm never going to hear from him again, you know, until our paths potentially cross in an unrelated thing later on. But separate from that, like a T-Pain, though, like that dude fucking reached out and was just so overwhelmingly sweet on the podcast and stuff, and said he'd been like watching our shit and supporting us for years and stuff. And then has since then like rated multiple times and like just been tweeting back and forth and shit. And like I went on his Twitch stream show like 2 weeks ago and we talked for 4.5 hours and just got super drunk and shit. And I'm just like, that was really fucking cool. Like a dude that you listen to and have been supporting for a while. And
that must be so crazy, especially because T-Pain was, you know, when we were growing up. I mean, T-Pain, he was releasing all these songs.
T-Pain.
It was fucking T-Pain. I mean, that's gotta be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the time with what we do, it's like we all, I feel like, internally view ourselves as like D-list celebrities. So it's like we don't, but like so interacting with like someone who is like that, I don't know. I guess I could say like real celebrity. I mean, what is even a real celebrity these days when you've got like Addison Rae and Charli D'Amelio doing shit like that and going on Jimmy Fallon? But I mean, that must have been fucking walking on air.
It was really cool. Yeah, it's really cool, and it still feels like it's very new to me to see those lines blurring, you know? Like, it was so, you know, it's so interesting to me, too, and, like, I hope this doesn't sound like I'm saying it with any sense of, like, an air of superiority at all, but I just found it so interesting where, especially top of the pandemic, when a lot of traditional media people were transitioning to, like, doing Twitch streaming and a bunch of shit, like, for the first time ever, something just really perspective bringing to see like, oh, I know that guy, you know, X person has like, I've seen his TV show for 10 years or whatever.
Right.
And now he's streaming on Twitch and there's like 70 people watching him.
Yeah. I have more people than he does.
Yeah, than this
Twitch.
guy.
Like,
And, and I'm like, exactly. And you're like, I look at that guy and still in my brain, I'm like, well, that guy's like, he's in there, you know, like he's doing shit. That's a celebrity and stuff. And I'm like, I really don't think of myself as that. I really don't think any of us really think of that, you know, but then you'll see that kind of thing. I don't know. It's interesting. I hope that didn't sound douchey.
No, it didn't at
doesn't.
all. I think it definitely is a win for like us content creators to like see that. But I think the main difference and the reason for that probably is because, you know, they've got all these people, they've got their manager, their agent and stuff. A lot of their fame is sort of tied to the companies that will promote whatever they're in, if it's like a movie or something like that. Whereas, you know, our audience is directly tied to our social media accounts. And it's like, that's just, it's a lot more just like A to B than like, whereas a celebrity, they've got like all of these things. And, you know, they've also got social media, but it's like, yeah, no, I get what you're saying though. That is it is a like a kind of a good feeling because it's like, hey.
Well, and it's really weird too because, and again, this year is illuminated more than any other year for me. But it seems like we're in this weird pocket with just culture and technology catching up with traditional media, where there's a lot of overlap of like the people that are customarily in both camps want what the other people have. So there's a lot of opportunities for overlap because you have these traditional guys that especially, you know, when their feet are to the fire in a pandemic are like, you know, I can't show up to the CBS set or whatever, like fucking this week, you know, I gotta play Warzone or something like that, you know? And I'm like, hey, I'd love to even, can I just be a PA one day on a CBS
guys, you
set?
see my cat video?
Yeah, just see my fucking cat video? Oscar said it was funny, man. Can I film it? So it's like you have that, and it's like, it's exciting if you know how to put yourself out there in the right way, but not be a fucking overbearing prick. You know, it's like a lot. You can have a lot of like cups pouring into each other in terms of like collaborations and shit. So it's exciting.
I think it changed both how sort of, you know, our sphere views traditional media and definitely how traditional media views our sphere. Which I think I was talking to, I don't remember if it was you or Eddie at some point about you'd kind of had like a rocky relationship with traditional media. We had talked about sort of how hard it is to get your foot in the door and get taken seriously as like an influencer on YouTube, right? And now I feel like it's almost been flip-flopped a little, right? With the pandemic and where people's engagement is.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and especially from an individual perspective, it's like if you are the person that's accustomed to being in front of the screen, if you're used to showing up and getting, you know, having a fucking makeup chair and craft services and shit and just hopping in front of the camera and doing your "Hey baby, don't touch that dial, everybody loves Rainbow, be right back" kind of shtick, you know, like you don't realize like, oh fuck, when I can't do that, I have to like buy what is it, El Gato? What the fuck is Streamlabs? What is, you know,
that's
like
fucking cat in Spanish. What the heck's going on here?
I got one of those. He don't stream Zelda.
Would you?
Zelda, right?
I remember seeing a couple weeks ago, Snoop Dogg got really pissed at his game of Madden. He just goes, "Man, fuck this," and he walks away.
Yeah, he just leaves it open.
Eight fucking hours later, the dude walks back. He walks back and he's like, "Oh shit!"
You know why? I don't even know the guy, and I know the answers because I've seen him on fucking Howard Stern saying, "Yeah, I got a dude that rolls blunts for me, and he's on payroll." Do you think that guy's accustomed to shutting down Streamlabs and shit? No, he doesn't know how that shit works. He's saying, "Put me in the chair, put the controller in my hand. Okay, Madden mode, activate." You know, like that's how he works.
I've also seen.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I've seen like several videos of him just like going after EA too. Whenever the servers are down, it's he's just like, "Hey EA, specifically the whole company. This is Snoop Dogg. Fuck you and fuck your servers. I'm pissed because I want to play
behind
with
the screen taking notes." Yeah,
he's always like your uncle in his fucking Toyota Tacoma too, like looking down at the screen like, "EA, you need to fix your fucking servers right fucking now." Like, he's just grumbling low angle shit. Like, I love that.